Welcome back. Last time we talked about scanning, straightening, saving, and removing blemishes. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the cloning tool. To give you a demonstration on what the cloning tool does, I'm going to go up into Image and down to Canvas Size and click, and it brings up this window. Now right here it gives you the option to increase or decrease the size of the canvas. It's the width and the height. I can take it up, I can take it down. I'm just going to let it be what it is. This square here with these 9 buttons allows you to select what quadrant or what area of the canvas you'd like to have this photograph show up on. I'm going to go to the center left, click it, and click OK. Now you can see it's really enlarged the canvas size quite a bit. Now I'll come over and click on the cropping tool and crop this picture so it's just twice as wide. Double click in the picture and we're good. The cloning tool is this little button right here, and it brings up these little buttons here across the top. The size, the hardness, the steps, the density, the thickness, rotation, opacity. The ones I use is the size, the hardness, and the opacity. I pretty much ignore these other ones. Now each one of these buttons is controlled pretty much the same. You can click the size of the button down by steps, up by steps. You can click back and forth, which makes it very large or very small. Once you select the size and you think it might be too big, you can still change it with the scroll wheel on the mouse to click it down. Now this next tool is the hardness, and I like to leave it around 24-25%. And the other tool that I use in the cloning is the opacity. Also this other option. This option allows me to change how I'm going to be putting down the pixels. I leave it at the default. But first I'd like to talk to you about the hardness. First I'm going to take the hardness up all the way to 100%, just to show you what it does. And I'm going to make sure that the opacity tool is all the way up to 100%. Now to pick up pixels, I bring the cursor over a certain area, like his eye, hold down the Shift key and left click. Then I'll bring it out into this blank space over here, left click, and just start laying down pixels. I want you to see that it laid down the pixels with a very hard edge. Having this lay down a hard edge is not a good thing for blending things together. I'm going to run this back out. Now I'm going to Control Z and remove that and come into the hardness right here and take the hardness down to about 25 and do it again. So I'll hold down the Shift key and left click and then come back out into the blank area and start laying down pixels again. Now let's zoom in and take a look at it. You see we have a very soft edge now. So this is very good for laying down pixels and blending things together. Control Z will remove that. Now I want to talk about the opacity tool. If I take the opacity tool and click it down to where it's about 24% and shift click and come and start laying down pixels, you can see that it's almost just laying down a ghost image. And depending upon the hardness or where you have placed the numbers on the opacity tool, it lays down those pixels in such a manner. So now the opacity tool is great for when you've got 2 different shades or 2 different colors that you want to blend together and have it look normal. So that's what the opacity tool does. Control Z, Control Z. Now I'm going to crop this picture back down and start using the cloning tool to restore this photograph. The cloning tool again and zoom into the picture. I find it best to take care of all the minor areas before I start working on the larger areas. Change the opacity back up and just shift click this way and shift click that way. Just kind of select pixels from one area and place them in another. You're just trying to remove all of these scratches and cracks and blend pixels together at this point. Try to select pixels from areas where you think it'll match, and if you make a mistake, just Control Z will remove your problem. If you're starting to create a hard spot, you can take the opacity down and blend it all together. Take the opacity back up a little bit and just play around with it. Practice. And if you make a mistake, just back out. If you do something and you like it, leave it. If you feel like you've made a mistake, Control Z and back out of it. Also, at the top right here, there's a back out tool. Go backwards. It'll also go back forwards. Just keep working on your little problem areas. And when you get frustrated, just feel free to click Save and shut down your program and walk away for a while and come back another day and attack it with a new, fresh perspective. Here I'm developing a hard edge, and so I want to soften that down and take down the opacity and blend that together. If you feel like you're getting too much of a mechanical feel to it, increase the size of the lay down button and blend it together using the opacity and the lay down and the hardness and the size. Just trying to blend it together and make it look as natural as possible. Then take the opacity back up. Just take care of the blemishes. If something seems unnatural to you, just work on a little bit, pull pixels from wherever you need to get them. And if you do something and you don't like it, just back out of it and try again. So what I'm going to do is go around and take care of all these rips and scratches and then run it at high speed and talk to you at the end. Let's click Save right here, and this is a good place to stop. Be sure to come back and see the next video where we will be restoring the eye and the eyebrow by using the Clip, Copy, Paste, and Adjust tools. Be sure to subscribe and keep updated on all my forthcoming videos. Check out my channel and the other how-to videos that I have posted. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.